Hey everyone, welcome along. Welcome to Steelhorse Station. Hope you are well. Hope the weekend has been kind, and if you're on Monday morning, that it's a good start to the week. If it's Monday afternoon, like it is for me, then you've had a good first day of it. So I think there's a couple of people dodging in and out. We'll see how we go. We might just jump straight across. We're back on the Oaks again today. I was just waiting for the map to load. G'day, Jack Sarge. I'm glad to hear it's sunny in Tasmania. Just move some stuff so I can see. The sun finally came out today, although the weather seems to be very confused about what's happening. So we're back here on the Oaks, which is good. And I've only done a couple of things since last week. So you can see we get some eggs spawning up there, so we might have to move some equipment. I also moved the hedge back a little bit here. G'day, Peter. Welcome along. I am very well, thank you. I hope you are feeling a little bit better this week. That your challenges are at least under control to an extent, or to the extent that they can be. So all I've done this week is I've moved the hedge back a little. I probably need to do a little bit more work because there was this sort of grassed area hidden behind it. And what I was thinking was that a place like this, even with all of their woes, they'd have at least a milk cow roaming around. So I've put a cow in. I've actually put a cow and a calf. So we'll just let that go. I've given it a little bit of food and water. Got an old water tank there to bring the water across, and we'll see how we go with that. So no plan for that to lead anywhere other than it just feels like in our scenario that would be the case. But I finished off the plowing contract because I was keen that we rolled over into November, and I got the contract value, and then saw in the store that where are we? A piece of equipment had come up for sale at a really good price that we couldn't ignore. So I decided that we needed a forage wagon, and that the price we would pay for it was such that we just had to take it. The only problem was it basically ate all of the money we had left. And then of course, when we've rolled over the day, that's taken, with the interest that we pay each month, that's taken us into the negative. So we have to deal with that. And until we deal with it, we probably can't get our seeding going. You'll notice in here the bit that we had seeded at least has struck. So this has a little bit of grass cover on now. But the first order of business is going to have to be to get rid of this $5,500 debt. And I think the best way to do that is to take this big trailer of hay bales that we organised messily last time, which you'll remember the Landy just struggles to pull along. And if we have a look at our little tool here, we've got quite a bit of straw, and the price is not quite at the maximum, but beggars can't be choosers. I think we're going to have to take the price we can get. So we need to go to Fisher's Bale Sale. So if we tag that and have a look at the map, because we haven't been there before, looks like it's flashing over here. So we're down here on the map, and we're actually right here, just near the church meadow. We need to shoot across the road and sort of veer left, and I think that icon hiding behind there is the animal. So I think it's at the animal dealers. So that's where we might head off to. So now just double checking my technology here. You guys have got pictures, which I am expecting, and I'm hoping that the sound is good for everybody. I think I've got that all okay. G'day, John Senior. Welcome from the northern climes. Hope you are well for your commencement of the week. We have Peter and Jack Sarge in chat there, so I think there's somebody else floating around in the background, lurking along the way. So what we might do, how's that lighting? We might just fast forward time just a little bit to make it a little lighter. It's cold there. Well, for summer it's been cold here, but it's... Oh, there's Mark Haythorne. The lurker is probably getting himself ready for work, one would imagine. Welcome along, Mark. Good to see you. So I noticed there's 2 more bales in the field there. But we're going to go and see if we can find our way around. I'm guessing that we need to take that road off to the left there. And I'm going to take it easy because I think we're a bit heavy for the landy in these conditions. And little pinches like this one could get us into a world of strife, so we'll just tootle along. Let's see if we can get up the hill. Up. Stick the boot in. Away we go. Seems to be behaving a little bit better on the road than it was on the field, which I guess makes some sense. We are winding a bit, and if we get any low-hanging branches, life could get challenging. I've got no idea what the road is like to this part of the map. We haven't driven up here before. Now, I think we're going left again. Let's just check. Yes, I'm pretty sure yes, we are. And then about as far as we've come here on the right. So I also, the other change that I made, I showed you the cows, or the calf and cow. It is a bit of a load. I wasn't, when I started to stack them on the other day, all I was trying to do was take them to the shed. I really had no expectation that we'd end up in this position where, and the only reason I didn't take them off was that they were kind of there and we ran out of time. We were busy doing other stuff. So as it turned out, it's fortuitous because it gives us something to sell just now. And it's not inconsistent with my limited first-hand knowledge of farmers who always take loading limits as advisory. It's like if the axle didn't break, it was fine. Now, I think we're going, yeah, I think we're going in this joint here on the right. But I don't know where. I'm guessing we keep left. Oh, and that's probably in that shed at the other end. So this must be It's a nice animal dealers. This is really quite... I like the way this is done. Somebody's spent a lot of time making this feel lived in. That looks terrific. Some pigs, some cows of all varieties. I'm guessing we're going here. Let's see how much of the trailer we get in. So that's all in. It's going to be pretty close to in the trigger. Let's see, because if I takes at the bottom, oh, not bad. 12,300 and 13,316 or 17 by the looks. But the most important part of that whole exercise was that puts us back in the positive. We've got 2 more that we can run down at our leisure. But the advantage of being in the positive, I'm just curious. No, that's just decoration. Okay. So at least now we've got enough work for, enough cash to be able to run our children on the various tasks. Offspring, I guess. So, there we go, and that feels a bit more normal. Got a more colourful console than any landy I've ever been in. But to be fair, I haven't probably been in one for a good 30 years. They were fairly Spartan. It's amazing how much more responsive this is when you get the load off the back. Anyway, we have... Was this our road here that I came out of? No. Oh, I could go that way. So that's the other end of it. That goes up to the other end of our field. Right, we want the next right. So, g'day Jason Rowe, welcome along. Good to see you. Got a few folks in. The major order of business today is we need to get the grass off, or at least some of the grass off our field next door, one of our fields next to the yard, so that we can get it fermenting and get some income over the January period while we're waiting. We've got a little bit of grain to sell, but it won't go very far, and we'll need to be picking up seed and fertilizer if we want to get crops in the ground in the spring. So plus it would also be pretty handy to get a soil tester. So yes, Jason, we've got a few folks huddling around, getting ready for the work, depending on where they're at, or just watching. Some chatting. So we'll see what's what as we get underway. I might be able to get our grass seeding happening again as we just drive past the entrance to the field here. So let's duck across to that tractor. There it is. We can pick you up. No, we can't, because you ran out last time. So let's go and get some seed. you splashed out, Jack Sarge. How are you finding it? Oops, I didn't want to fill up with fuel, but I guess that'll do. Is it exciting to be running on a PC? Are you noticing the difference? Or a difference? The difference. Ah, still on the old one. Which map are you playing today? So let's go with nearest waypoint. Off you go. That looks lovely. And does it actually tell me if I go into here? I did modify the mod. Oops, we're saving something. Will it actually tells me the tractor name? It doesn't tell me the worker name. Okay. I have been able to do a little bit on the mod, which gives me the... I think if I take a regular AI worker, it will actually use the names of the children and their friends. Dark Forest. Ah. Is it a logging map, Jack Sarge? So this is the grass that we want to cut. And this is quite a large field. 75, so that's 76. Not as big as we'll have when we're finished seeding 68. You can see we're only about halfway through 68. But still, nonetheless, 76 is still 5 hectares. So that'll should give plenty for our silo over here. Now, there's our mowers. What we need is... which tractors? That's one of the little ones. I suspect our... Oh, you were sent home. Why did you end up there? Oh, because you probably decided that you needed... I'm tipping. You've got a setting still on. If we have a look in autodrive, and you'll probably be trying to no void fruit automatic refueling. So why did you come to that gate? What would have caused you to drive to there? I reckon you've decided that that's the shortest path to somewhere. Where are we on the map? I reckon we need... just bear with me a second. No, they don't look big on a 4X map when you're used to looking at standard. What we need to do here is, I think we need to change, create node, delete, toggle as a side road, left shift. So we want to do... left shift. Simple mouse left click, yeah. That should toggle as... why is that not working? Let's try it. That's it. So now, by... you'll see the color of that's changed. So now it should only try and go in here if it's specifically after a point that's in the yard. And ideally we want to do the same on, what is it? That one there. Whoops, did I manage to delete that one? Why did you do that? Let's go even that. Right, that's better. So now we shouldn't have vehicles accident landing in there because I thought I'd sent them home. Now if we close the help text and send you to the home park, which is what I wanted you to be doing. Now we'll go find the other one. That's the field we finished on. Now we can do the same trick with you. Actually, we're up near the top of the map, aren't we there? So what I think we'll do, because this is the bigger tractor. See you, John. Have a good day at work. Thank you for dropping in. What we'll do is, even though we've got the plow on, I have a front 3-point on this tractor, so I can bend the local road rules a little bit, but hopefully we can pick up this forage wagon and at least tow it back with us so that we don't have to come up here, seeing it's quite a long way. I'm probably not going to work real flash with auto drive with the plow mounted on the front. Can I get across there? I cannot. Let's turn the waypoints off. Yeah, that's no worries. It'll be there. It'll, I probably, as long as you hang on to the link, you'll be able to get to it, but I won't be able to publish the public link until the morning, because it'll take YouTube most of the night, based on the current experience, most of my night, to turn it into high definition. So that's why sometimes there's a lag between, or you observe a lag between finishing the stream and you go back to catch up on something, and either the quality is lousy or it's not visible to you at all. That's YouTube doing its thing. I learned not to wait for it, and I just go to bed, and by the time I get up to do the morning stream, so far it's been, touch wood, completed. Now, this is the road we want. We can follow this across to the edge. No, it's not an Aussie internet thing. I've got plenty of bandwidth. It's a YouTube processing thing, because YouTube run their own custom encoders. They take, I upload, and typically a high definition upload, I can get 45 minutes of video uploaded in about pretty reliably now in about 2 hours. But then it'll take another 2 hours to convert that into high definition, and same with the stream. Even though I'm streaming in high definition, at the end of the stream it's only recorded it in the YouTube servers in standard, and so then it reprocesses it into high definition. So it's and when you think about how many people are probably doing that in YouTube, it kind of gives you a sense of how much processing capacity is probably doing it. But it's not an Aussie internet issue. Although I don't know where YouTube process stuff uploaded in Australia, whether they do it at a somewhat local data center or whether it's done in North America or Asia. I have no clue. Right. I decided to do this way round because I can't. This is the only tractor we've got that will pull this forage wagon that we've just hired. It probably won't run it, but we'll see. But it's also the only tractor we've got that'll run the mowers. So, oh yeah, Jason. Google have some massive data centers along with technology that they developed especially for the purpose over the last few decades. Yes. Don't worry, we had plenty of crap speed for a while, and even then I found, particularly working in the industry, I found it very frustrating that the government decided that even if I wanted a better connection, I wasn't allowed to have one, which I found just bizarre. Now, come on, disconnect. Thank you. Because what I want to do here... Oh, the other thing that I've added in, you might see in the garage over there, so there's a tray truck and a wheel loader, which I figured a service farm supply business like this would have, so that we're able to get deliveries and things. Now, is he gonna... Yeah, that's what I want. Not the most realistic, but I can fold you. Well, that's the thing, you know, sort of coming out of the business, I was like, well, okay, so it's great that both sides of politics decided that we needed to upgrade our national broadband network. While you're doing that, can I please have a fiber optic connection to my house? And whilst they talked about it, nobody seemed keen to do it. It's like, well, yeah, but it's obvious that it's going to be required at some point in the future. Why not just do it now and connect me on so I can be fast straight away? But no, that's not the way we went, so never mind. It's substantially better than it was, and I hope in due course more of the regional areas get the same service. The really remote places, it's always going to be hard. Right, so we'll keep you trucking along. Let's just stop and have a look for a second. and at contracts. So I think we'll be doing enough grass work for the moment on our own fields. I don't feel inclined to tackle any of that. And remember, the rules here are because of our lack of standing in the district, nobody will lend us any equipment. So we've got to have the equipment in order to be able to do the contracts. We've probably got a bit of work to do before we can take on fertilizing contracts. Poland maps, Polish mods. Sure. Hey, Lucas, how are you? I'm not on a Polish map. That's the only point that I would make. But yes, on a Polish map, that would make sense. I try to be moderately realistic where I can. It doesn't always work out. Either I lack the knowledge or... So there's still some big ploughing contracts around, but I think we learnt last time that until we get a bigger tractor, these really big ones are a bit beyond us. We have some equipment, but we certainly don't have potato or sugar beet. So yes, they are indeed Polish maps. But we are playing on the Oaks in the UK at this point. Oh, it's a bit of a struggle pulling this up the hill. I'm glad that field we're picking up grass from is flat. I think if we find a... I think if we get our cash flow sorted, those fertilizing contracts might up it. We're at the Tasmanian maps. Well, you'd fit the whole island in a 16x map, wouldn't you, Jack? And for all our international visitors that don't know, Tasmania is an island, but it's probably the best part of 300 kilometres on the diagonal would be my guess. I think it's about 200 k's between Launceston and Hobart, isn't it? Yeah, I'm just winding you up, mate. Yeah, I can see some enterprising soul bringing out a map of the Franklin, and then there being universal outrage at logging it. Easy the size of Ireland. There you go. That's a better proxy. There's plenty of it. It's on my list of places to spend more time. I've only ever made it there on business before. Now I need to check where to turn here. Oops. I've only got autosave on because I had a couple of... Okay, well, so we want to go left here and then just follow it around. And that ad wants to flicker. That's interesting. I haven't had that experience before. I wonder why that's not behaving itself. Yeah, so I've only ever done a couple of business trips to Launceston and Hobart, and they were quite some years ago. It's on the holiday list. I wouldn't mind putting the bike on the boat and coming down, but that's not in the immediate plan. It's an overnight ferry from Melbourne to the north coast of Tasmania for those that are interested, across Bass Strait, which can be interesting in terms of weather conditions. Yes, well, that was my recollection of the drive through the centre, was that there was lots to stop and have a look at. Now, what did I say? I was going left, wasn't I? Or straight? No, I was going more straight, I think. Even though, yeah, I got to go across there. From what I understand, the food is also very good, which works well. I quite enjoy eating. Lots of produce, particularly well known for apples and crayfish. That's right, you're allowed to be biased. Everybody has their preferences. Without preferences, we'd never find out what was going on. Goodness me, this is a heavy trailer. Nice looking church. So that map you're playing, Jack, the dark, what was it called? Dark something? Dark Forest? How big an operation have you carved out on there? Yeah, let's just see here. I think I'm going around to the right. Yes, I am. Council needs to get out with those trimmers on the branches along here. Goodness, a bit overgrown. Fair to say it's probably a better view for everybody. We'll drive down the tunnel from inside. I think this is our road here, is it not? Sheep, shooks, horses. Yeah, okay. How many head of sheep? Enough to be interesting? Or you're still building it up? I find somewhere between 60 and 100's enough for a single spinnery, assuming you don't mess with the configuration. So once you get more than that, you kind of need to be planning on multiple spinneries. Yeah, we're going to get this through that gate. What's the bet? Probably not from within the cabin. Oops, and not with the plow on the front. Let's do this a different way. Oh, that's right. I left the landy in the street, didn't I? Good job. So let's... the packing facility spinnery is definitely the best standalone, and on console is... I'm assuming the packing facility works on console. The solution I like is the upgrade factories mod, because that I don't know if I've got it on here. We don't have any production, so it won't show, but I find that works really well with spinneries, because you can put your base one in when you've only got, say, you know, the 50 or 60 sheep, and then as soon as you've got enough wool supply that you're filling it up, you spend another, what is it for a standard spinnery, 65 grand or 80 grand, I forget, and it doubles your throughput and your storage capacity. So you don't have to place another location, but you get to expand it. And I just find if you're on PC, that mod works a treat. We've got it on Newlands, and if you haven't seen it, I also did a little mod review of it that's in the tips and tutorials folder. Let's unfold you. And where are we going to pop you? We're going to need you again before too long, so I might just put you out over here. That's it. Let's see how we go here. You need some maintenance, which means we have to go down to the shop at the other farm. We'll do that before we put the... That's probably why we were struggling to pull up the hill, so hopefully we'll have enough for maintenance. Okay, so there's an updated version of Dark Forest. Very good. I can't... It's not ringing a bell for me, so I would have to go and look at it. Okay, you got home, so that's a good start. You got stuck on the gate, so you're probably costing us money. Yeah. AI Worker Woman 3, so my mod didn't load properly, because there shouldn't be a Worker Woman 3. You're almost out of gas. You are out of gas. Tremendous. We'll solve that shortly. It's all happening. Our kids aren't maintaining the gear. They're not watching the gauges. Where is the trigger? It's here somewhere. There it is. 6,300. Ouch. Okay. I'm pretty sure we can't do much without doing that. It's the sort of game we're in. So that just means we might be doing quite a bit of this mowing ourselves. Yep, our seeders run out of seeds, so we'll have to sort that out. Truth be told, we probably need a service point up here. I'll put the fuel storage up here, mainly because I didn't want the fuel storage near the house. But let's go and fix you. But it made sense to me that there would be a workshop near the house, so that's probably been there for 100 years. Which was kind of the idea I was going in there for in there. Now keep in mind, because of where we're up to and the scenario we're running here with the Putneys, I had no expectation that we'd manage to magically seed this whole field. It was always a fact of, well, can we get some sort of cover crop on it? Which is what we're going for with the seed that we could afford to buy, and we just sort of guessed because we had no idea. Which is sort of roughly consistent with how the farm's been run, but now it's got a little bit more family labour, so that's what we're going for. Oops, I'm running over the seeded area again. Paid attention, it'd show me where the blue line was. There it is, coming towards me. So the main reason we're trying to get a big load of grass on here is so that when we get to February, March, we'll have another grass crop to hopefully make a heap more silage in our clamps. Now we'll put you back on there. Can't do you, can't do you. Which, that's what I want. Let's go and put the front mower on first. So the question here will be, will we have enough ergs to run both the front and back mower on this tractor, or do we need to run two tractors together? We fit through the gate. Yes, I think that gate might need some widening. Now that we're using it as a more significant yard, we'll never get trailers and the like in there with any sort of sensibleness. That might be a chore for next time. Now we want to go down this little street. Hopefully he didn't put a collision on the signpost. Good job, Farm Sim Brisco. If there's anyone watching the stream that hasn't seen the map, there should be a link in the details to the map. Where's the entrance to the fields? How are we doing for cash here? Let's see how this goes. What I reckon we'll do, you down. X, turn you on. Put you on the field. You struggling for horsepower, you are. That's annoying. So, what we will do, we don't really have much choice. We either do 2 tractors or 1 tractor twice, because otherwise we're going to have an annoying strip. So let's get creative, as our Putney family would when encountering this situation. Also, it doesn't give me a lot of confidence that our forage wagon is going to be able to pick up this grass, which is going to make life interesting. Pretty sure you don't have a front attacher, so we're going to have to run the front mower on the back. Yes, you are, Pete. It's not unfortunate. You still get to experience lots of the games. It's like anything. Whoops. I've just blindly driving along. But some of the things that I will talk about, of course, are PC mods, because that's what I'm able to play with. Now, what I'm about to do here, you can do on a console. You just got to, or at least in part, you just got to drive both the vehicles yourself. But plan here is not quite to do it the way I intended. So let's turn you off. Oops, I wanted you on. I wanted you. Turn you off. Disconnect you. Back up. Yeah. Let's see how this works. Is it gonna let me in this way? I've not tried this before, folks, so we will this is just see what happens if you run it backwards. It cuts. Beautiful. That's what we want. So you need to be on, and I want you to follow 25 yards behind. That should do it. Then what we want to do is put you on course play, but instead of what I originally intended, create a job, course play field work. There's no field here. Of course there isn't. Oh no, there's a field here. So course generator 3.2 now. The back butterflies are how wide? This is more complicated than I intended, but nonetheless, we'll figure it out. Back butterflies are 8.3. So, create job. There we field position here. Course generator 8.3. And I want you to do 10 headlands. Start on the headlands. Smooth corners will be fine. Generate the course. That looks pretty good. And we'll come back and fix the bit in the middle when you've done all headlands. Okay, so it's just got a few up and down rows left at the end, but it's mainly a follow the leader course around the field. And so what we need to do now, the nearest waypoint will do fine. And what should happen if we're lucky, is he should follow along and pretty much do what we want. Now the other thing we can do, if you haven't used follow me before, is we can close him up a bit closer by selecting the tractor and changing the distance. So that was, for me, that was right control and right shift and F to select the following vehicle. And then W, same right shift and right control and W to pull it in. Oops, we're still running on 10 times. That was a mistake. Those two tractors, so we've simulated two of the Putney boys, let's say John and Paul, running around. They're going to run around and do those for a while. And one of the things we need to do is we need more cash. And we need, where's the landy? The landy's right here. So let's, we know we've got 2 more bales that we could sell. 2 more straw bales. It's going to be worth a couple of dollars. What about crop? Because we're in November. So maybe we've got to sell some of the crop that we've got in the truck. Let's see. And we've got to take some fuel down to the other tractor so that we can get it out of the gate in the other farm. And the day's looking a bit dark because I let the time run on while I got distracted. But maybe that's just the hand we've been dealt. Let's take you. $293 litres of seed. We'll go through the workshop. Hopefully we'll be able to get close enough to fill him up. Come on. Yes, we did. Excellent. Right, one crisis averted. Ah, you're there. Wrong vehicle. Let's get in back in the landy. Get ourselves unhooked off the plough. Try and get our dolly out the way. It's not what I wanted. Oh, it's a busy little happening today. So Jack Sarge is the version of Dark Forest for FS22 still called Dark Forest. Will I find it if I search for that? Leave you there. How's your map going this week, Peter? I think last time you mentioned you'd switched off Western Wilds. And I've forgotten the name of the map. I apologise that you told me you'd switch to. Rightio. So we'll take this back where it was so we can fill up when he runs. We only got half a tank of seed left. Oh, okay. Thanks, Jack Sarge. I will track it down there. Prairie Farms, that's what you told me that. How are you enjoying it? I think you took the sheep with you, didn't you? You took one of the animals, as I recall. You're about to run out of fuel as well. Now, let's look at our holdings. So, Oh, this doesn't show because they're on the floor. So we've got a truck full of, I'm going to say oats. Okay, before I do that, let's just Control T so that doesn't happen. So our mowers are making a reasonable fist of getting grass down. 600 sheep you took with me. Well, they'll be keeping you busy. There'll be plenty of grass to be mowed for those. That's the one I want. Okay, so we've got sorghum and oats I'm tipping. Even though it doesn't tell me what they are. I'm pretty sure they're oats. So if we have a look at our prices, they don't show up in our stock check tool because they're not in a storage that stock check recognizes because we don't have a proper silo. But if we have a look, our oats are worth a bit of money actually at the minute. How does that work for? Our oats are actually looking pretty good. What about our sorghum? So sure, sorghum's up at 890. That's only 50 bucks 1,000 litres off. And it's in the truck. Oats 11.57. That's 100 bucks. Maybe a little less. So what I'm thinking is that we could do a lot worse than take our truck of sorghum and sell it. I already gave some to the chickens, so they've only eaten 12 litres in a month, so there's not a lot of them, so I don't reckon we need to be hanging on to. I reckon that the Putneys would sooner eat the chickens than they would buy new feed for them, so I'm reckoning that we take the sorghum to the place that's going to give us the best price. What do you reckon, chat? I hear you, Peter. Yeah, I think we had that discussion in one of the streams last week. But so sell it is the go. So sorghum is 890 at Haygate's Grain is the current best price. So where is Haygate's Grain? Haygate's Grain is also not very far away, so I like that. So we come across to, I'm guessing that's a roundabout. Yep. So across the road, past field 76 to the roundabout, and then it's going to be the first left and it's in that estate. Excellent. Okay. Let's go get some cash, folks. Down to the farmer's ATM. It's nice with the sun on these autumn leaves. Very pretty. This is the road we want. We should be able to duck down here. It's doing a good job there. It'll get into trouble when it gets to the up and downs, but that's okay. We should have the grain sold by then. Guinness Brewery mod. Now that sounds like something that our Putney folks could get into if they were when they get a little bit more established and sort out the mess that they're currently in. I have not seen I wouldn't know where to look, to be honest. It's certainly, well, it's not going to come through Mod Hub, which is where I tend to get most of my mods. The only brewery I have come across was on Nitrodad's Middleborough map. I think we're going left here. There we go, there's our sell point. I'm gonna go left up here. We haven't been into this end of town. Yeah, that's a driveway or a track. That's a road. What's this? Oh, it's part of the British Sugar Factory. Cantley. I'm assuming Cantley is the suburb or the district. There we go. How do we get in there? We'll drive straight over, and I'll know as soon as I get up here that I should have gone left. Is that the deal? Oh no, maybe not. There we go. That was straightforward. Oh, start overloading sorghum. Fabulous. I like that. That's easy. Money coming in. So based on what happened last time overnight, it's about 6,000 a month out the costs of our loan. So this should get us to at least the end of January if we're careful. And then the other grain load should get us further again. Am I able to get out of here? I have to back out. That's a backing out deal. There we go. Beautiful. Well, that was straightforward. Much easier than I expected. And there was nothing in my notes for this episode about selling the grain, so there you go. Nice and conventional. I don't mind this truck to drive. I haven't driven this before. Just a shame it doesn't have a tow bar on the back. Seems to work pretty well in these narrow roads, so it'll do the job for us. I'd be pretty confident it could make it to a silo or sell point when we want to automate that part of our operation a bit further down the track. But for now, let's get back to our field and see if we can get this grass cut. At least if we get it cut today, then we can figure out how we're going to collect it next time if necessary, because it'll be on the ground. A pretty lane. Whoop. Bit of a bump. Hope nobody gets car sick. Just it seems to be easier to drive in cab than with the trees slapping us in the face. Looking like a lot of crops here that are on the fields and withering. So it might be good scope to expand once we get our own ship righted, so to speak. The other mod that I've got active on here that we haven't really encountered or done anything with just yet is the auctions. Field auctions mod, and I figured given it's a 4x map and there's lots of fields, it would fit in pretty well. Let's just park you in here for the minute. Hooks get stuck in the wall, but that can't be helped. Now, I don't know. I'm not certain that's going to work, so I haven't used it on a map where it's worked since the change in numberings for the fields versus farm areas. And we haven't, there may not be an auction running just yet, so I haven't seen any messages to suggest that there is a field up for auction. So we'll leave it go a few months and see what happens. The idea, as I understand it, is one of the fields will come up every year and it'll be open for a few days. So we'll see how we go. Right, let's stuck up here. Where's the mower up to? Where's the seeder up to? Is it running out again? It's getting closer. But I'm guessing it's not on that side, so it's got to be on this side. Somewhere down here in the dark. Yep, there it is. Nice late afternoon sprint up the field. There you go there, Chief. 87 litres. Well, you're going to get us a decent size area. You won't get to the headlands, but you'll get us a good centre section, at least, that we'll be able to mow in the new year. So that's not too bad. I'm pretty sure we can't plant grass after the end of today. Yeah, the end of November's the close of the grass window. And then it opens again in March. And then we have to have a think about what crops we'll put in when the planting window opens. I'm thinking probably some sorghum and maybe even some soybeans might be the way to go. But very interested in chat's point of view, whether you've got some recommendations for us. There are no hard and fast decisions made about crops, other than the fact that grass is going to be the backbone of our recovery until we can get a little bit of cash built up, I think. Did anything interesting come up in the equipment sales? Well, nothing that we can purchase, so don't think we'd have any use for that, for a 4-meter subsoiler at this point. Especially not one that needs 200 horses. So now while you're here, let's pause you. That's a very good question. So the answer is possibly, given that we need straw. It's just that with the current map, is there a cereal we can actually plant? I don't think there is. I think where we'll get to, or at least the way I was thinking about it, was... oh, come on. Oh, you're not going to let me load out of the floor of that trailer, are you? Because some of the seeds spilt. I'd have to get a front loader to get it. Bugger. Oh well. Now, where did we have to go here? We've got to go back up. Did it actually finish? Yes, it did. Good. Oh, right. The green's where it was up to. Nearest waypoint. Bingo. Let's have a look at that map. Oh, no, we can... Oh, sorry, I'm mistaken. We do have a UK crop map, so we can put in... Well, I think in that case, that makes our decision for us. I think we very much need to put in cereals, Jason. So maybe we do, say, oats and barley. Something like that. Because we've got at least... The way I'm kind of looking at it is we've got at least 2 fields being 61 and 62 that we can probably afford to work straight off the bat. So prep and seed. And if we've got time and the money, then tackle, even if it means carving off, subdividing field 68 for the minute, a bit of that, and then we'll leave the rest of it covered with grass that we can then turn around. And then as we go on, kind of keep things working. That's kind of my current thinking. So we just have to play it by ear. So our next objective, money-wise, well, it'd be great to pick up a bigger tractor, but we also need enough seed and fertilizer to do something in the spring. So with seed obviously being the priority, and then fertilize just gets the return. But I think your pickup on the cereals is a good one. So we'll do that. And then the way we're going, we've got 3 fields. Looks like I've gotten stuck in the center there. Oh no, you actually managed to finish the field. You legends. That was somewhat unexpected. Let's get that little bit, because we want every last bit of grass off here. Just a little bit on the corners that they didn't grab. Out like so. I'm pretty sure we've got a windrower. It's nothing fancy, but we should be able to row it up all right. And the 3610 shouldn't have any trouble with the windrower. In fact, what we'll see, that's true. They could definitely sell oats as horse feed. Although looking at those prices, the local price for oats is better than any bag of horse feed that I've seen. So just looks like this side of the field boundary's not, oh, maybe it's the bit I didn't, as I started them partway around the course. I'll just run round. Get this bit. At least because it's our fields, it doesn't matter if we roll the day to get daylight in December, we can still pick up the grass. If we could cover the capital costs, we could think about putting down the horse training facility that provides us, Jake and Paige, a nice little income on Silver Run, where they basically just feed the horses and adjust them out. That's an option down the track. Although the design of the building doesn't kind of fit with the aesthetic of the map, unfortunately. Works a lot better on Silver Run. Okay, I shouldn't have taken it off follow. It would have been much quicker to do this with the butterfly following along behind, but never mind. I'm still pleased with how that little improvised setup worked. Let's just go back the other way. That's true. So that's all stuff that might be in the future. They'd have to actually prove that they could run what they've got before anybody had let them adjust livestock. That's a very good point. So we don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves. I'm pretty confident we've got enough base resources to make things work. We just got to think it through. I'm gonna go back. Let's see if we can tidy this up a little bit. It's at least another stripe back on the bottom. There's going to be a reasonable yield of grass. This will go a reasonable distance to putting a couple of 100,000 litres, I reckon, in one of those silage clamps. So that'll be a good few months operating costs once it ferments. And we don't have to sell it all at once. We can keep it as a and just dribble it out with a trailer load to the animal dealer every month, sort of thing, as necessary to keep the wolves from the door. Okay, let's just go back down there. Finish that little bit. Don't think there's any point going back over the brow of the hill there. We'll just dip round. There's a little bit in the corner. this will be one of the things where we roll over to the next day and we see it in daylight, and it's like, what mad person did you let mow your field? Okay. No point mowing that edge stuff because it doesn't produce anything. Just get the other corner outlet. And we should be in a pretty good place. I'm quite impressed that the mowers didn't get themselves tangled up on the up and downs. Probably could have gone with less headlands in the end. That's okay. We've only got one windrower anyway, so it's not like it's a big deal. Okay. Just a little bit more across the bottom and we will be done. One stripe, I think it is, across the bottom there. The decorative grass on the map doesn't give you any yield, and it's really interesting because you can't replant it either. When he's updated something, he's changed the textures, so if I replant it, it looks really funny and not in a good way. Whoop. Driving a straight line, champ. There you go. Thinking that'll probably do us. Oh, there's that stripe there. Just that bit there. That is the gate back there, isn't it? No. Or is there a second gate up here? No. It's only the one in the middle. Good. So let's send you back. To Putney Main Yard, that's the one. You're out of grass seed. Oh, you can call it quits for the day. Where are we? Yes. I don't think we'll be in a position where we'll need a Guinness mod for a while, John, so that'll give us plenty of time to scout round. We've got much work to do before we get up to that point. And you never know, all sorts of enterprising people might come out with stuff over the next few months. But I think there's, you know, this map's generating a bit of interest on PC, and I think there's a few more coming. I see Mr. Sealy P has started a series on Tom Pemberton's farm, so FSG's playing Valley Springs, so I think if there's going to be a Guinness mod emerge, there'll be places for it to be used. Now let's see, we do have a windrower over there, so let's have a look at that. I must have put another shed in since I did the course for the parking spot. Yep, I did. So let's just move you out of the way. Might have to tidy that up a bit later on. Turn that off. No, you're not going to do it. There we go. So that'll do for the minute. Now, let's have a look what our windrower. Our windrower only needs 45 horses, so we can put it on a smaller tractor. And it is 7 meters wide. Well, that'll work. So we can probably run it on our the Massey we were using with this mower. Where do we keep our grass? This looks to me to be a good shed for grass equipment, actually. Grass equipment and little tractors. The trouble is, if the grass equipment stands tall, it won't go in there, so we might have to split. We'll see. Haven't got a feel for the layouts of the sheds yet. But I'm thinking, being 5 o'clock, what we might do is roll a day. There's no point in continuing in the dark that I can think of. So let's duck across to the house. We might knock the top off a cold one ourselves. Well, at least in my part of the world, we would knock the top off a cold one. I realise that those of you that hail from the British Isles prefer warm ones or room temperature ones. I like them cold. Let's go with, at this time of the year, 8 o'clock's probably fine. So, Yeah, so there you go. You can see 6,300 is our overnight loan interest. That makes a bit of a dent in the finances. Let's take our... how do you do that? Where? There we go. I'll turn you off. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I can't do anything about these gates using standard in-game tools. No, they're in the map. So I will have to do that out of stream. Because that gate's just not going to work for us as the main entrance to our yard. It'd be fine if it was a double. Don't know if there's a bit of double gates that'll... that I can replace it with. Oop. The sun is coming up. I was going to say, it would look like my imagination for the minute had the field magically rode itself up completely, but no, it's just the front mower or the center mower gave us a windrow, but it hasn't actually fixed up the other stuff. Oh, I didn't need to do that because it'll put it down and go. Now, let's see here. We want to go here. We want to create a job on this field with the course generator. Why does it... because it's assumed the wrong thing. It was 7.1, wasn't it? Let's just go and check. Actually, if I deleted it, it's 7 meters. Let's delete that temporary course. Oops. Like that. Now let's create a job in there. Very good. We want to start at the first waypoint. Now we should be better. 7 meters, 1 tool. I think 7 meters, 14. Yeah, 2 headlands will be plenty. We can just do a little more overlap and give us a chance in that. Corners, let's go sharp corners, field centers up and down. No bypass. Oop. Can't enlarge it, but that looks workable. And the start is close by. In fact, right in front of us. Perfect. Go to the first waypoint and off you go, champ. I'm not sure if you were here, John, but we went and sold the sorghum that was in the truck. It was turned out to be a good price. It was the sell point just over here, so it was quite local, and that's how we got a little bit more money in the bank, because we had to do $6,000 maintenance on the 3610 before we could do any work with it. And I also managed to run a couple of the vehicles pretty much out of fuel. Luckily we had some temporary supplies, so that's kind of the update. Now over here we are pretty much out of seed, so given we're not going to get that far into today, we'll see how we go with the grass collecting. We can't plant any more grass, so there's no point buying any more seed. Oops, as you can see. Hardy folks, these Putneys. Harold's out in a t-shirt in any weather. Got to remember to put some fuel in the landy too in a minute. But what I would like to do is see if there is enough horsepower in the 3610 to pull this bargain. Device. That'll work. You can just pop yourself in there. Take the strain off the hydraulics. Right. Now I'm pretty sure you're not going to go in over there, are you? It'd be nice if you did. You're going to be just a whisker too high. Never mind. You in front of the tedder. Do I have another weight at the back there? I think it might be. It is a weight box. Whoop. Now we don't have any additive. And I don't think in our financial situation we can afford it, so we'll just do how we do. Can silo compaction. Right. Let's see. If we can pull it, I'd be fairly confident we're only going to be able to pull it on the flattest part of the hill. We might struggle to get it up the hill. Let's get round the corner here. Down the pickup. No, we're picking it up, so it won't be pretty and it won't be fast, but we look like we're going to get the job done, so that's a win. Oops, getting in the way of my windrow here. And the first impression, given we've done nothing to this field at all other than cut it, first impression of the yield off here is not too bad. That's the other thing we need to be saving for, is a soil tester. I was really hoping one would come up in the sales. Nah, she's she's flawed. I may well have a problem getting out of the bottom of the field, actually. We'll see what happens. And I've already decided I'm doing smooth corners in the forage wagons for that same reason. But hey, if we get the best part of, what are we, halfway around the fields, so 2 headlands give us 100,000 litres of grass. That's plenty of silage. This hill's going to be the acid test. Oh, absolutely. I figured there was no downside. I mean, as long as it'll pull it. Yeah, we're getting a little bit of wheel slip going up the hill, which on wet grass underweight, it's not actually a huge surprise. I mean, we got 40,000 litres of grass in the back, and somewhere in the short term we're going to end up with a bigger tractor, so, and once we get to that point we'll be fine. So if we've got to just babysit it a little bit for a while, then, you know, they're the things you do to get ahead, sort of thing. I don't know if I can put more weight in that box. Oops, let's try staying over the windrow. But that's coming up there. Yeah, there you go. I think I can. I wouldn't like to back it to do it again when it's got twice as much in it. So maybe I don't go all the way down this time. Where's he doing that? He's only doing 2 windrows, so I can't remember which side of the field the up and downs are going to start on. I think it's along this edge when he gets to them. So maybe I do have to go down and then come through the hedge and come back up the road. Might be the way out. I could be very cheaty and go through the hedge behind me. That's our field right there. Oops. So given it pulled it up with the pickup on, it should, I'm betting that even if I get stuck, if I turn the pickup off, I should be able to move it. Nope. Attention, I missed a bit. Come on, round you go, round you go, round you go. Drop it down a range. It's wheel slip that's killing me. So some wider tyres would probably be a solution, but that's all right. We make it to the gate. 76,000's plenty for the first load. That way we can leave the windrower to get a little further ahead, and we can pick it up in the next episode. I don't think I've got any wider tyre options on this tractor, but we can have a look at that during the week. Similarly, we could try, I do have another weight rather than the weight box. I'm not sure how big the weight box is. Where is it? We have several weights. Where are the rest of them? 850 kilos. I've got a 1500 somewhere. Don't know where that is. Let's get out to the road. You should pull better up the road. Three-quarters is fine for our first attempt. Nope, we made it into second in low range. helps. If you're on the road, pull the pickup up, and how about that, you find some power. So yeah, we can definitely pull up the bitumen comfortably. So, and the rows are going across the slope, so that'll work fine. That will be good. Anybody in chat got preferences to which clamp you want us to work of the three? Roadside, shed side, or the middle? They're all identical. I'm gonna get you in there. I got you out, but I'm not confident with steering axles. I'll get you in. Nope. Okay, shed side it is, the one with the tool in it. Yeah, exactly. That's the plan. Why are you not? No, pick up. Why are you not giving me an option to empty? Oh, there you go. It's going to take an age to compact. With the equipment we've got, but that's all right. Nonetheless, that's progress. I think we might leave it there for this evening, folks. I'm going to be back in about 10.5 hours time. We'll be on Newlands tomorrow. We'll be back here same time next week. So thank you very much for joining us, and I look forward to having you in Newlands or in this stream next week. It's been fun. We're making slow progress. We're having some adventures, so we'll see you in a bit. Thanks everyone. See ya.